Oh, yeah! You know what time it is. That's right, it's time for the Eddie and Webby podcast! Yo, I'ma bust out some theme song action for you. Check it out. The Eddie and Webby show is the place to be. They're talking about beer and pickleball and technology. So if you didn't know, now you know. 'Cause it's time for the Eddie and Webby show.
On today's episode, Eddie and Webby have a prank war. This is the Eddie and Webby podcast.
Well, it was really fun video chatting with all of you. Same time next week. All right, bye. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 63rd podcast.
Oh, yeah, episode number 63. And once again, we have another action-packed night full of fun in store for everybody. And if I can be honest with you, you're not going to want to miss one single bit.
That's right. Every second of this is going to be intense. It's going to be fun. We have guests. Well, a guest, I should say. We've got Eddie and Webby. And guess what, Webby?
What?
We're live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. And guys, this is meant to be interactive. And as you all know, I don't even have to say this, but with what's going on with the world right now, it's really tough times in a lot of people. People are scared. What we want to be able to do here at Eddie and Webby is bring positivity out there in your lives via pickleball, via craft beer. We really just want to be able to have a fun time. So we definitely encourage you to be interactive with us tonight. Ask questions for us. Ask questions for our guests that we're going to be having. Go ahead and make comments. But we really want this to maintain a very positive attitude. Right, Webby?
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. I think that's the best thing that the whole world needs right now is some positivity. So that's hopefully what we can do here tonight.
That's right. And guys, go ahead and stick around. After the podcast is over, we're going to be having another episode of Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby, where we're going to be looking at baby pictures of some of the top pros in pickleball. That'll be fun, huh?
That's right, man. We don't mess around on Dinking Around. It's one of the riskiest shows out there.
That's right. We
Look
don't
at
mess
baby
around.
pictures.
We dink around.
That's
Boy.
right.
Well, as we mentioned before, we're going to be having a special guest on here very shortly. But before we get into any of that, Webby, what's going on in Twitter?
Oh, man. Twitter has been off the hook, if you will. It's been crazy. I'm going to go ahead and pull Twitter up here on my phone and see what's on the Twitter sphere here tonight. Here is a message from McLiza McCarthy. At Eddie and Webby, I really appreciate all the videos you guys have been doing during these tough times, but I sure hope you aren't playing pickleball with big groups just for the sake of making videos. Well, thank you, McLiza, for the comment. And it's actually... that's not the first time we've heard that. People sometimes think that the videos that we post were like just shot like within the last couple days or so. And so we've been posting some videos from the Florida Grand Slam tournament, and I can assure everybody those were recorded over a month ago, so before this whole pandemic thing really took off. So the videos that we're posting of us playing with big groups of people at tournaments, that was not something that just recently happened. So you can rest assured we're being safe here.
That's right.
We're avoiding the big groups. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. Let's do another one here. Here's one from Tom Crudes. Eddie and Webby. Wow, what a shocker. Eddie beat Webby yet again. Webby, give it up, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't know what Tom is talking about, yes, the Eddie versus Webby 6 match recently happened. And if you haven't seen it yet, just don't even watch it. It's not even worth watching, to be honest. Nothing worth seeing in that video.
The 6-time Eddie versus Webby champion right over here. Oh, yeah, that belt stayed in Florida.
You can't deny though. It was a close match. I mean, my team beat his team the first game. Like things were looking good for Team Webby, but I'm sorry to say we just could not pull it off in the end. Team Eddie was victorious yet again.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Nicole carried
whatever.
me to another victory. Thank you, Nicole.
All right, how about one more comment on Twitter?
Okay.
Here's one from somebody by the name of Tom Manx. Eddie and Webby, I absolutely loved when you showed creative and fun quarantine videos from the Pickleball forum during your Dinking Around show. I hope you do more of that. Well, nice. Thank you very much, Tom, for the kind comment. And yeah, that was super fun. If anybody didn't see our most recent Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby, we spent a majority of the time showing fun and creative videos that people submitted on Pickleball forum and other social media sites of what they're doing while quarantined. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. And guys, if you keep creating videos, we'll keep posting them and watching them with live. I mean, we're happy to do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like we said before, that's like a great thing. A great way to kill time during these tough times is to do fun, creative videos, and we might show them off live on the air.
That's right. Keep doing them. Webby, I know everybody out there really wants to get into it with our guest, but before we do, are you enjoying a beverage this evening?
Oh, why, yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm enjoying a very tasty seasonal beer, and it's a big deal here in Michigan, and that is Oberon Ale from Bell's. Oh, yeah.
Very nice. I'm excited that you got your hands on that. That was the first beer we ever reviewed. Back when we used to do like official beer reviews, episode 1 of our podcast, we did Oberon.
Yeah, it's tasting very good. What do you got over there on your end, Eddie?
So I encourage everybody right now to do whatever they can to support their local economies, especially breweries. Because if times get tough and people can't buy beer, these breweries aren't going to be able to go months and months and be able to survive. So as I like to do, support my friends over at Fort Myers Brewing Company. I have their American Wheat, which I have had before and have always enjoyed. And it's a great beer, very similar to what you're drinking.
Very nice. I like it. Sounds delicious.
That's right. Well, we're going to be enjoying these beverages as we talk to our guest tonight that we should bring on here very shortly. Our guest tonight has made his presence felt in the pickleball world over the last couple years. He's a force to reckon with on the court, but off the court is just a really good guy. He appeared today on the It's Pickleball Mania World Championships live on ESPN. Please welcome to the show, Dekel Bar. What's going on, Dekel?
Hey, all good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome, man. This is a treat for us to be able to have you on. We've been trying to get you on since, I think it was October was the first time that we started talking about it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. I was looking forward to this.
My pleasure, man. Glad you were able to make it. We want to, dive a lot into your pickleball career, but I feel like for the first time ever, before I ask you about pickleball, I want to ask you about your background in another sport, and that is tennis. So can you talk about your background in tennis? Because I know you have quite an extensive career in it.
Yeah, I played tennis. Well, I started to play tennis when I was 9. Started as a hobby and got slowly serious, more and more serious. Played a lot of junior tournaments. Started traveling when I was about 14, probably for international tournaments. It was a lot of fun to travel and to play in all sorts of different countries and the different cultures. And then, at 18, it got more professional. Started doing the ATP tour, playing a lot of futures, some challengers. It's a real grind. And I stopped about 2.5 years ago or so because of injuries. Then I tried pickleball, got hooked, and here we are.
Well, as much as I'm not happy you got injured, I also am a little bit happy you got injured because it sounds like that kind of was the catalyst to you discovering pickleball, huh?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Well, I used to travel with Colin Johns for tennis tournaments, and then obviously Ben Johns was already a very good player a few years ago, and he kept telling both of us, just come for a couple tournaments with me. I'll teach you how to play. It'll be fun. Both of us were like, you stay with your pickleball. We're fine with tennis. So we might join you if we're, once we're done with tennis. And we did once we were both done, which was pretty much the same time. And yeah, we just got hooked.
All right. So when you're 14 or so, traveling around all these different countries, like what were a lot of the places that you went to that kind of stood out to you?
Oh wow, so many places. In the juniors, it was a lot to Europe, Austria, Slovenia, Germany, Spain, Italy. I lived 1 year in Australia when I was 14. So I traveled a bunch there in the area too, to New Zealand, to Fiji. Those were really cool to go to. And then I went back to Australia a couple more times to play more tournaments. And actually, my sister lives there. She still lives there. So went a few more times to play tournaments there and visit her. So those were really cool places to go to, Australia and New Zealand.
What was because you were born and raised in Israel, right?
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
what was the level of play from where you lived growing up?
We have a few players that play pro. That we always had the one that is like top 100, one that is top 200, and a few guys that are around 400 or 500. I got to 580 myself, and we had a few players around that ranking that I could practice with at home. So that was good. We don't have a lot of high ranked players. Duty Sela is the best one. Right now he's outside the top 100, but for most of my career he was top 100. So it was nice to have him and practice with him at times.
Okay. So you were throwing out a lot of numbers there that I think in the tennis world probably people will know what that means. Can you correlate that to what that would be in pickleball terms?
Ooh, that's difficult. Well, I guess if you want to put number one in the world right now is Novak Djokovic. So I was about 579 spots behind him.
Okay.
And yeah, it's difficult to kind of really put it in pickleball numbers because we don't have as many players in pickleball now. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult.
Okay. So you're playing tennis, everything's good, you get injured, you discover pickleball. Were you immediately hooked, or was it one of those things where, because I know Colin Johns, he kind of like, first time he played was like, oh, this is stupid, but then got hooked gradually. Were you in that boat, or were you one of the people that picks up a paddle and got hooked immediately?
Somewhere in the middle. I enjoyed it, but I'm like, it's fun, but I don't think I'll do it for a long time. I like tennis better. But then the more I played, the more I liked it. I played 2 or 3 tournaments pretty close together in the summer. And after every tournament, like, wow, this is fun. It's getting more fun, getting to know all the different tactics and different shots. And basically every day I fell in love more with the game. And yeah, after that summer that I played, I think it was 3 tournaments, pretty close together. Then I knew I wanted to keep playing as much as I can.
Okay. So, what year? You said that was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
So my first tournament was in Atlanta, less than 2 years ago.
Okay.
In May, so May 2018.
All right.
Basically went to the U.S., played a few days with Ben and Colin. He tried to prep us for the tournament. We did not do great. We did decent in singles. And And then I didn't play for a couple months. I came back again in the summer, and like in July to the U.S. Played 2 tournaments in July. Did okay, not great. And then again, took a couple of weeks off. Played for a couple of weeks. Then went to TOC, and then had a good tournament there, which kind of made me want to stay in the game and try to play as much as I can, because that's kind of where I fell in love with the game, and I saw that I have potential to be a good player. Yeah, so that's it basically.
Okay.
After TOC, I had to go home, so I went back home for 6 months and didn't play for 6 months, unfortunately. And I think that's when I saw you first time in Simone's tournament in February.
Yeah, that was just over a year
last
ago.
year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You and Adam Stone played together. You guys did incredibly well at that tournament.
It was a good tournament. Yeah, Adam's always fun to play with.
Yeah,
he's great.
So do you still play tennis at all?
I play once every few weeks, probably an average. There was a stretch there that I didn't play for almost a year.
Wow.
Now I try to play every week or two, but it doesn't really happen always.
Okay. So, Webby, it sounds like there's some action going on the social media front, huh?
Yeah, we're actually getting quite a bit already.
Nice.
This first one comes from Nicola, and they say, what is Dekel's paddle of choice, and does he have a brand of ball that he prefers? Are you okay with answering those questions there?
Yeah, I am. So I play with the Prince paddle, the Quantum Pro. I really love the paddle. It's got great control. It's got a little bit of a longer handle, which I like for my double-handed backhand. I got some nice grit on it for good spin. Yeah, it's very solid. I really like it. As for a ball, I prefer to play with a Dora, just because it's probably the fastest ball out there. I think it's good for my game, and I feel like rallies are getting very long anyway, and a lot of the tournaments are played in the heat with and the balls get softer regardless. It's just the ball I feel the best to play with for myself.
Yeah, and I feel like an overwhelming amount of the pros would have the same answer. I feel like most pros do prefer the Dura over the other options out there.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely seems understandable. Here's a question from somebody by the name of Wesley Gabrielsen. And he says, Big D, how's that backhand dink treating you right now?
It's much better thanks to Wes. He helped me with it a bunch because we played nationals together, the last nationals in November. And I was until playing with Wes, I only played the forehand side, the weak side, the forehand side. And my backhand dink was not great, but I knew I had to play with. I was going to play with Wes, and he takes the right side of the court, so I'll take the left side of the court. So I had to work on that backhand dink. So I did as best as I could until playing with Wes, and he helped me out with it. And I think we did well. We had some good wins. We went deep in the draw, so that was a good tournament. And Wes is so fun to play with. He's such a good player. He's got so many tricks up his sleeve, and a very positive and good guy. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. And I'm just going to get to one more comment here on social media for now. This is more of a comment than a question. And this comes from our good friend and Hall of Famer, Steve Peranto. And he said, I watched Dekel hit a third ball so hard at Nationals that it didn't just break, but it folded into itself.
Yeah, I remember that one. It did feel very good. I have to say. Yeah, just I guess it was a good shot right in the sweet spot. Tried to hit it as hard as I could.
Wow. So it
It
literally
felt good.
folded into itself.
It broke and folded. It was quite funny.
That's
You could see
hilarious,
it in
man.
the air, like squished.
Well, the big question is who walked away with that ball as a souvenir? You know?
I don't know. They
Yeah.
just put it away.
they just threw away the Dekel Bar
Yeah,
smash ball, huh? That's
yeah.
funny. Good stuff. Thank you, Webby, for that. Keep the questions and comments coming in, guys. So we were kind of talking a little bit before about, when you would go back home to Israel, you wouldn't play pickleball. Is that because you just don't have accessibility to pickleball there?
Yeah, yeah. There are no pickleball courts. No one in Israel have ever heard about pickleball. Now, my friends and family and, are starting to hear about pickleball, or people who follow me on Facebook. But no one knew what it is. So yeah, I do have like a temp net with me in Israel, and so I try to find some friends to play, but they'll come once because everybody's busy at home, and it's hard to teach them a new sport, especially when it doesn't look, a temp court doesn't look as appealing as a real court,
Right.
and so they would try. They always love it, but it's hard to get them to come back consistently, and you know to work with them to improve, to actually have good practice. And also, I don't really have a lot of time when I'm at home. I go to school at home, and yeah, there's just not a whole lot of time. Um, I do have now after nationals. I did bring a ball machine back with me, so I'm trying to play as much as I can. But I'd say on average, every 1 or 2 weeks, I get to test it out a little bit and hit some balls
Wow.
with the machine.
Which ball machine did you get?
I have the Tutor Plus.
Okay. You like it?
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I
All
do.
right. Cool. So how often are you back home right now versus traveling around the road?
Probably back home 7 or 8 months of the year, and in the U.S. or different trips, 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
I might, this year I might travel a little bit more. I'm trying to, but then I miss a little bit of school, so I see how much I can manage.
So what are you in school for right now back home?
Economics and entrepreneurship.
Okay. Nice, man. How much longer do you have in that program?
I have a year and a half left. I'll be done in August 2022.
Okay.
Sorry, it's 2021. August
All right.
2021.
So when you come to the States or wherever you are to play a tournament, how many days in advance do you like to be here to be able to get a little bit of practice in?
I would come as early as I can. Usually I fly out to the US like on the day of my last exam, like in the evening, and then however early that is before a tournament. So sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a day. It really depends.
Okay. But it sounds like you've been traveling a lot for a lot of your life, so you're kind of just used to it now. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very used to traveling. I love it. It's a lot of fun. You meet so many different people, so many different places, and you get used to the flights and everything and the jet lags. But yeah, I don't mind it at all.
What's your activity on a plane to kill time? What do you like to do?
I usually watch shows, listen to music, but mostly shows.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite one that you watch right now?
Right now, I actually don't. Nothing right now. Uh, no, most recent one was probably Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
the main one, and just some, some Family Guy or just some fun stuff to uh, pass the time.
Okay. I like it. So I briefly met you just over a year ago at the Florida Grand Slam of 2019. But then I was so happy. This was about 5 or 6 months ago, back in October. I signed up for a clinic at Chad and Simone's place, Peak Performance Pickleball Academy, right? One of their 3-day destination camps. And I show up, and there you were, one of the instructors for the weekend. And I got to tell you, I was like, yes, this is so awesome. I'm going to learn from Dekel. And it was a blast, man. And I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was such a great camp. I didn't know you were going to be there. It was so awesome to see you. We had a great group, obviously great coaches. Simone always runs a great camp, great clinics. So it was great to learn from her. And yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I especially liked the fact that I got to dink with you, because I'm not kidding you. Anytime I'm warming up or I'm dinking, I constantly have a lot of the things that you said playing in my head about moving my opponent around and limiting my movement. So I guess what I'm trying to say is your coaching style really resonated with me from the very first drill that we did, and now it's
awesome.
It's there. It's constantly reinforced in my game. So I definitely appreciate that.
That's awesome. Great to hear. Yeah, you did amazing there. You're very receptive to what everybody was saying, so that was good.
You got some of the best instructors in the world, man. I'd be an idiot not to be receptive to that, right? But that was cool. Although I do have to say that we have a little bit of a bone to pick with you when it comes to the camp back in October. And actually, I'm going to need to bring Webby onto the screen, because really it's a bone that he has to pick with you, right, Webby?
Yeah, that's right. There's some video footage floating around of a shot that you did, and it was a pretty impressive shot. But I think it's best just to show the video footage and let the video speak for itself here.
Slick tricks. This is my specialty. This is called the Webby.
Yeah! Woo! Whoa, wait a second here. You can't just name a shot after yourself unless you do it regularly during tournaments. Just who do you think you are, pal?
Man, get out of here! Yo, if you need some proof of why it's my signature shot, watch this footage.
Too good.
Yeah, the proof is in the video there. So yeah, you stole my shot, my friend. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait. When were your shots taken?
I think that was like 15 years ago is when that video was made. Either that or maybe like a couple months ago. I don't know.
Wait. So who did it first? Maybe it shouldn't be called the Webby.
So I've been doing the Webby for as long as I can remember, but that video was only 2 months old. So I mean, I don't know. I guess if that video was when I trademarked the shot, maybe I'll let this one slip and I'll let you have your moment to shine.
I remember the first time you did the shot, Webby, and the first time I saw it, it was a year ago in March. We were up in Grand Rapids for the Midwest Indoor Championships. We were warming up against Bob Trout and Jeff Howlett, or I think it was Bob Trout and somebody else, and you did that shot. And so I remember a year ago you did.
Yeah, so it's at least a year ago. I feel like that's when I was starting to finally like refine it and perfect it. And but no, you definitely you pulled it off nicely though. You kept it nice and low. That's something I still need to work on. I need to make it a lot lower than most of the time when I do that shot.
That's a fun shot.
Is it something you pull out of the arsenal there often?
I do it I only kind of when I have to. No, I don't try to do it. Sometimes you're just stuck in the that kind of position when the ball is behind you. So only then I do it, but every now and then.
All right. I like it. I think I saw you do it today when you were warming up with Kyle before your match at the Pickleball Mania.
I think so. Yeah, I think there was one there.
Yeah. Well, that was funny. As soon as I saw that video back in October, I immediately sent it over to Webby, and I was like, "Oh, he took your shot, man."
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that I was doing the Webby.
Well, now the world knows the slick tricks. Don't get it confused with sick tricks. It's the Eddie and Webby slick tricks.
The slick tricks, yes.
Yeah. All right. So we were talking a little bit about traveling or whatnot. And that kind of brings me to another topic that I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook. And I've seen, you and Ben post some things about pickleball getaways. Do I have that right?
Yeah. Pickleball getaways.
So what's
Correct.
that all about?
So we have pickleball getaways, pickleball trips to different locations in the world. It's me and Ben Johns. We have trips, two types of trips. One type is to one location, like a 5-star resort with tennis courts that we convert into pickleball courts. We have clinics every morning and open play for the rest of the day. You can play as much as you want or as little as you want. We jump in and play with all the players as much as we can. You can play all day, or you can go to the pool. You can go to the beach. There's so much food there. It's a lot of fun. And we have another type, which is the touring style trips. Which we had one to Ecuador. We're gonna have a couple to Portugal. So basically, we play a couple 2 or 3 hours of pickleball a day with instruction, and some open play. And the rest of the day we tour around the cities and the country, depending on the location. And yeah, we think the combination of pickleball and travel, or pickleball and relax in a resort is a very it's a great combination. Because people, especially people who love pickleball, the pickleball addicts out there, they want pickleball, and they want pickleball on their vacation. So this is a great option for whoever's looking for that. And yeah, we had this year we had our trip to Mexico, to the Mayan Riviera. It's near Cancun. And we just got back. I got back about 10 days ago from a trip to Punta Cana, which was a lot of fun. And luckily, the virus didn't. There was no virus there yet, so it was super normal. So that was great.
All right. So you said Mexico and Punta Cana. Were those the first two trips that you guys have done?
No, so this was this year. Last year we had Mexico, also same location, and we had Ecuador, which was such a fun trip. It's such a scenic country, great culture as well. We'll be back there. Maybe not next year, but hopefully the year after, because we just love that location.
So what made you kind of want to start this business? Like, what was it that really said, oh, I should start a business where we travel with people who love to play pickleball? Like, how does that even happen?
Well, I've always been traveling, so it just seemed like why not combine the two passions that I have, which are sports and travel. So I remember just talking to Ben and see if we can do this thing, and how we started. And yeah, we started with one trip to Mexico, and we had great response, and it was a lot of fun. So we decided to keep going and to do more locations, and yeah, we've been having lots of fun with it, and we're getting great reviews, great feedback. So yeah, we're just trying to get better and to open up more locations, more destinations. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Are you ever at a lot of these resorts playing pickleball, and people who have never seen it before or heard of it come over and start asking about it? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, yeah, it does. There are usually some Americans or Canadians that have heard of pickleball, and they go, "Oh, you play pickleball here? Can we join and play?" And of course they do. And also a lot of people from other countries that never seen pickleball before, and like, what is this? Like, so many people, and like all of you are playing the sport. Like, what are you doing here? And then we explain what pickleball is and how you play and everything, and it's great to expose different people from different countries to pickleball. It's fun to teach them and to see them play a game so quickly without even knowing what it is. Just because that's what pickleball is. You can learn so easily how to play, and the technique is not super difficult. Like, anyone can pick up a paddle and play a game.
Right.
So that's the bonus of pickleball.
Okay. So let's say I wanted to go on a trip. How do I go about signing up for it? Or where do I find out information on this?
Yeah, you can find us on pickleballgetaways.com, or message me or message Ben Johns, or you can email us on pickleballgetaways@gmail.com. Ask us any question. We have a few more trips set up for next year in Europe. We'll see how, obviously how everything goes when the coronavirus goes away, but we have some fun new destinations planned.
Nice.
So looking forward to that.
We'll go ahead and we'll throw a link down below after the live stream is over. So that way anybody out there that wants to check it out can definitely do that.
Yeah. Love to see everyone there.
It actually sounds like a blast, huh, Webby?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I've seen some of the posts from past trips, and man, they look incredible.
Yeah, it looks like fun. What's going on in social media?
So I've got one question here I want to bring up, and this comes from Rodney Langley. And Rodney asks, who are you partnering with this year for men's doubles and mixed doubles? Great question.
That's a great question. For men's doubles, I'm partnering mostly with Adam Stone, the Adam Stone. I've played a few tournaments with him. It's always been super fun. He's a great guy, great player. I do have one with Joey Farias. I was supposed to play the U.S. Open with Eric Lang. Fortunately, that one got canceled. I have one with Ben Johns. I have one with Randy Zbinden, and might be missing someone there. I feel like I'm missing one partner there, but mostly with Adam Stone this year.
Okay.
Mixed doubles, I have a few partners set up, a few different partners. I'm playing with Regina Franco. I'm playing with Vivian David. I'm playing with Athena. I'm playing one with Anna Lee. I'm playing with Maggie Ramenzi. I think that's it. I hope I didn't forget anyone. And so a few different partners for mixed.
So you got 4 Floridians there, and then one New Yorker. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man. All the players that you guys mentioned today are obviously awesome. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. All very fun partners. So I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope that this whole thing goes away and we can start playing tournaments again, and everybody will be back healthy and over. I hope everybody gets through this.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're all hoping for right now. We're going to be getting to a section coming up here in just a little bit where we have pros asking pros questions. But before we do that, there's one other topic that we haven't covered a lot of, and that was the It's Pickleball Mania World Championship that was live today on ESPN3. Can you talk about that at all? How did that all come about? And
it was very random. We were just a bunch of us players were kind of stuck here in Florida. I didn't plan to stay here in Florida, but I got it back from our Punta Cana trip, and my flight was to Florida, so I just stayed here. I have some great hosts here, some great friends to stay with, and we had a few players here that were already here, like Ben Johns, Adam Stone, so and obviously Kyle Yates lives in the area, we got contact if we wanna do this thing from a local guy called Ryan Sherry. If you guys, he's a good pickleball player himself. He used to be a pro tennis player. He set everything up, and we think it's great for pickleball to be on TV, to get this kind of exposure on ESPN. So we're very happy to do it. Obviously, we were concerned with all the, with everything that's going on, that it stays safe and healthy, and that we're not exposing anyone or getting anyone in danger. So that's why it was only singles, and it was only a few people there that were basically already in the same house and already been together, and kept it to a minimum of people, and took all the precautions. Everybody had their own ball, played with a glove, no touching or whatsoever. I think it was a great hit and great exposure for pickleball. Great to grow the sport. Hopefully, we'll see more of pickleball on TV from this.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it did a lot to be able to drive the sport forward. Obviously, being on ESPN3 and getting the exposure of their their target audience. Did you hear anything about what type of reach was expected from the live viewership today?
No, I didn't hear anything yet. I didn't hear what they were expecting, or I know they said millions, but I don't know if really millions. I really don't know, and we haven't gotten the results yet. They haven't told us yet, at least, how many people were watching. But yeah, that's really interesting to see how many people watched and what the response is.
What was it?
Got to a lot of people.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, I assume that it would have, being on ESPN like that. So was it weird playing without a crowd at a venue like that?
Yes.
And without a referee too, right?
It was.
So
yeah, no referee, almost no people there. Just a few people of the crew, and us few players. No crowd whatsoever. So it's dead silence. You hit a great shot, a winner, and it's just nothing. So it was kind of weird, but it was it is what it is. It was still great fun to play, and knowing that a lot of people are watching. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a strange atmosphere.
Well, you're talking about no crowd. Obviously, you were successful today, and you beat Kyle Yates in 3 games in the first match, right? And then Ben Johns had beat Adam Stone, so it was you up against Ben Johns here for the championship. And I specifically want to talk about the end of game 2, because the last 2 points of that game were unreal, and it was so bizarre to be sitting on the couch and watch that happen and not hear the crowd go wild. So do you want to talk about those 2 shots that you had on Ben to win game 2?
Sure. Well, we had I think he was serving at 6-10 in the second game. He won the first game. So he was serving. We had a few was a relatively long point, a few shots in the kitchen, and then he set. I was way off balance. He gave me a shot like way to the side. I wasn't sure if I was able to get it. I managed to get it, and without really looking, I just smacked the ball to see what happens, and it ended up being a crazy winner. Not really sure how, but yeah, that was a fun shot. And then dead silence, which was weird. But,
Yeah, crickets. It was bizarre. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is weird because any other venue with a crowd, well, even that venue, but having a crowd there, people would have been going nuts at that point.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best shots I've ever hit, if not the best one. So that was fun, and fun that it was caught on camera. And then the next point, I hit also a good winner down the line when he was approaching the net. So that was a good way to finish off the game. I think this is the first time I played Ben in a tournament. But yeah, I don't get many games off of Ben, so even in practice, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun to watch, man. You had some incredible shots today. I mean, obviously you were
Thank
up
you.
against the top player in the sport, and it went to a game 3. And I got to say, man, I felt like the whole time it was anybody's game. So that was awesome. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a very fun match. Even though it was, strange atmosphere, it was still very, very fun to play. It's always fun to play Ben.
Yeah.
He challenges you, in every way. So it's great to play against the best player. It makes you play, the best you can, or gets the best out of you.
Yeah. Was it weird not having to pass the ball back and forth to each other? Because it seemed like at first the natural instinct was on a side out, or if you were, you'd send the ball their way, and then after a few points, it was like, oh, I hold on to my ball. Was that strange?
Yeah, it was strange, especially in the first match. So against Kyle, we got confused a few times and passed the ball to each other, and then passed it back. So it was strange, but like everything, you get used to it. And then it was just, it was normal.
Nice. Well, I think that was awesome, man. That was a lot of fun to watch. So hopefully there's a lot of positivity that came out of today. Hopefully it got the word out there about pickleball.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. I think it's great for pickleball to be in such a stage. So hopefully what we did will bring a lot of new people to pickleball and grow our sport.
Yeah, that is what we all hope for. So very excited that happened today. So we want to move on to the section that everybody loves. I think it has been incredible. We started doing this in 2020, and I don't think we're going to stop anytime soon. And that is,
I'm a little bit scared of this section.
Well, you should be just a little bit. But anyway, this is pros asking pros questions. And not only do we have videos of pros asking pros questions, we're also going to see at some point if maybe there's somebody there at the same home with you that would be willing to ask a question as well.
That's right. Yeah, this could be a historic moment in Eddie and Webby history. But yeah, I say we go ahead and kick things off with our first question. And the first one comes from somebody that we all know and love, and that is the one and only Simone Jardim.
Hey Dekel, Simone here, and just wondering, what are some of your nicknames? And if you don't mind explaining what some of them mean, that would be great.
Oh my God. Thanks, Simone. Well, first nickname is Dex, I guess. Ben Johnson and his family nicknamed me that a while ago, and it kind of stuck, and a lot of people in pickleball are starting to call me Dex. There's Big D, which is also a lot of people are calling me that. You saw Wes call me that in your chat there. There's BDL, which, I won't say what that one means. Simone, if she wants, she can jump on and explain that name.
Oh man.
What else? What else do we have? think those are the main three. Yeah. There's probably
All right,
a couple others that I can't remember right now. Thanks for the question, Simone.
Nice. I feel like I'm definitely gonna have to ask Simone what that means because I feel like I got some things
go
in
right
mind that I don't know. I might be getting a little too out there. Hopefully, I don't know, but yeah, Simone will have to tell us what that one means.
Well, before we move on to the next one, though, we have a post here from Belinda Zabinden that said,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Taylor, aka Dekel.
Yeah.
Is that another nickname that we should know about?
Well, yeah, she nicknamed me Taylor because I do like one or two Taylor Swift songs, so she kind of stuck that name to me, and then I call her Justin in return from Justin Bieber because she likes a few songs of him.
Nice.
So, yeah, I hope this one doesn't catch on.
Nice. Well, our next question comes from a very good friend of ours, and that is the very talented Michelle Esquivel.
Ooh.
Hi, Eddie and Webby. Thanks for having me on Asking Pros segment of your show today. My question for Dekel is, Dekel, which shot would you choose in your pickleball game from a particular pro? So from any of the pros, which shot would you steal from them or take from them? And why? Hope you guys are doing good, and we'll see you soon.
It's a good question. I would probably have to go with the back end roll of Ben Johns. It's a shot that I'm lacking at the moment and that I would like to improve. So if I could steal it, I think it would improve my game dramatically. So yeah, that would be the shot I would take right now.
Awesome. Great. That's a great answer. Yeah, I feel like that would be a great thing to add to pretty much anybody's arsenal there.
I was going to say,
Ben Johns.
A lot of pros would probably want that one for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, this next question comes from somebody who recently joined us on the podcast, and that is Frank Anthony Davis.
Hey, Dekel. I got 2 questions for you. The first one is, what things do you like about doubles that you don't get from singles? And more importantly, what things do you like about singles that you don't get from doubles?
Nice. Great question. Thank you, Frank.
Great questions. Of course, some single stuff from Frank. Thanks for the questions, Fad. So about doubles, I like the fast hand exchanges in the doubles game. It's really, I don't know. It's always really fun. I like to watch it and I like to participate in it. I think it's very attractive for the sport. I also like the different tactics in the doubles game. It's a lot of fun, finding players' strengths and weaknesses and knowing where to go and what to do. So that's about doubles. Singles. I do come from a tennis background, so I do like playing, running a lot still. Maybe not as much as I used to. Things start to hurt, especially in the long single days. But it's still fun, to get to a tough ball or to also, the ground strokes. There's a lot more ground strokes in singles than in doubles, which are I like to think my ground strokes are good, so I like. Yeah, so that's another part that I like. I do miss sometimes playing alone because tennis I played alone a lot. So it's also fun to do that. It's just a nice combination. I do probably like doubles more because, like I said, I do like playing alone, but not as much as I used to. I like the camaraderie in doubles and playing with friends. It's a lot of fun. It's something after playing for so many years alone, it's in singles and tennis, it's something that I really enjoy. So yeah, hope that answers that.
Nice. Yeah, great question. Great answers there. The next question comes from a true pickleball legend, and here's one from the one and only Wes Gabrielsen.
Hey, Dekel. Hope you're doing well, my friend. My question for you is, how did you get your calves to be so big? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the exercises you do to strengthen your lower body? And my big question for you, do you think that you or Steve Dawson have the best, biggest calves in pickleball? Hope you're well, buddy.
Wes, great question. Honestly, I rarely do any calf exercise. I guess some things are just a gift. Like Frank is super fast. I guess I just have big, big calves. I guess me and Steve are probably up there in that category. So not a whole lot of calf exercises. I do a lot of stuff for the quads, like squats and lunges and stuff like that, with jumping or with adding some weight. So I think that's very important for the game, for singles and doubles. Yeah.
All right, nice. So I got to tell you, Dekel, we aren't even to the halfway point right now. That's how much you're loved by your peers. We had so many people so eager to ask you questions that we are not even to the halfway point yet. So let's go ahead and keep this rolling. And this next one is actually a two-parter, and it comes from our good friend Martina Coakley.
Hi, Dekel. I'm one of your admirers, and I really enjoy watching you at tournaments. And I was wondering, so I have a couple questions, if you would be stuck on a secluded island with your favorite players, how many hours per day would you guys be practicing drilling, and how many hours per day would you guys be actually playing games?
It's a great question, Martina. So yeah, we would probably, if it's up to me, we would play a lot of pickleball regardless, like many hours. When I'm in the US, I play as much as I can because I can't play when I'm back home. So I feel like I need to, catch up and work on my game. I would probably drill maybe 40 or 50% of the time and play games the rest. Well, it depends. If there's a certain shot or something specific that I want to work on, I would drill more. And if not, I would play more. So it really depends on the time, but the average, probably 40% drill. I would say 40% drill, 60% play.
All right. Nice. So keep in mind that you're still stuck on this secluded island, and here's part two of Martina's question.
Now, also, what would be the 3 essential things that you would be bringing on an island with you? Mind you, you're not sure how long you're staying there. Thank you.
Great questions from Martina. So obviously, if we're, a few pickleball players stuck on an island with a pickleball court, assuming, then I'll definitely have my paddle. I'll have my shoes because, gotta have the shoes, and earphones, I think, just to, if you're stuck on an island with, even if they are friends, sometimes you just don't want to hear from them anymore, and you just want to be, by yourself, alone. But so those are the 3 things I would bring with me.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So our next question comes from a good friend of yours, and you actually just played pickleball with this person's brother earlier today. This one comes from Colin Johns.
Hello, Dex. My question to you is, you have an exceptionally strong background in tennis, top 300 in the world in doubles, top 600 in singles. What was the biggest adjustment for you coming from tennis with such strong racket skills to pickleball?
Oh, great questions. Thanks, Colin. And you can see the nickname there, Dex from Colin, as always. So the biggest adjustment is just kind of knowing. I remember, my first tournaments, me and Colin, we played together in our first few tournaments. We were just so surprised by everyone who attacked us. We were just not expecting, people to attack us from different spots. We were just, they caught us and hit us so many times. It was a little bit embarrassing. So just to learn how to read the game and read all the little shots and tells that people have, and just expect every ball to come at you. And if it doesn't, well, then it's a dink probably, and you have time to react. But basically, expect every ball to come at you. Just learn how to read your opponents and read the game better. That was the biggest thing for me, I think.
All right. Now, before I go to the next question, I do want to bring up a comment here on social media. And this comes from somebody who just recently asked you a question. That's Martina Coakley. And this is regards to nicknames of yours. And she says, Sexy Dexy. Sexy Dexy.
So thanks, Martina. Yeah, that one is around as well.
Nice. I feel like that's it's got to feel good to have that as one of your nicknames. I know I would feel good.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I should be happy about that one.
Nice. All right, we'll move along. I just had to throw that one out there. This one,
All right, good.
this next question comes from a friend of ours that was on our most recent podcast, and that is the one and only Lucy Kovalova.
Hey guys. So Dekel, I have a question for you. If you can play pickleball with whoever you want, who would it be and why?
Wow. Obviously you, Lucy. But I don't think Matt will give you up anytime soon. But let's say for men's, it would be the Adam Stone. So yeah, he's just a lot of fun. He's a great guy. We always have a blast on court and off court. And I'm very happy. I've played a bunch with him and have a lot set up to play with him.
Nice. All right, great answers. This next question comes from another great friend of ours, and that is the one and only Irina Terashenko.
Hey, Eddie and Webby. Hey, Dekel. I hope you guys are staying safe. Here's a question for Dekel. You are a very laid-back guy, but oftentimes your partners want you to get fired up during the match. How do you become more emotionally involved during the competition? Bye.
Oh, that's awesome, Irina. Yes, I am at times very laid back, and on court sometimes I'm very laid back too and very quiet. When I don't think that's when I play my best. I think I play my best when I'm more fired up and more energetic. So I kind of just force myself to be more to fire up. I scream a little bit, I shout, I jump around, I kind of talk with my partner, I try to stay active. So those things help me to get fired up, and then it builds on from that, and I get more and more fired up, which is I think good for my game. I feel quicker, and I feel more in the game, and feel like I make better decisions, and I'm kind of in the game better, have a better feel for the game. Just that it's just me personally. A lot of people are very different and they want to be, very calm on court and very relaxed. But for me, I feel like when I'm fired up, I'm better.
Awesome.
I have a follow-up question of my own then. So which Taylor Swift song should your partner start playing for you to get you fired up?
None. I don't think that really fires me up. The Taylor Swift song I do like is the Love Story one, which is an old one. But yeah, I would listen to different songs to get fired up.
All right. But not Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So earlier, Simone asked about your nicknames, and this next question comes from somebody with the nickname of the Gecko. Are you familiar with the pro pickleball player that goes by the Gecko?
I'm not sure I am, actually.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and roll the clip of the question from the Gecko.
Hey, Eddie and Webby, it's me, the Gecko. Just wanted to shout out to one of my favorite players, Dekel Bar. I'm a 5-0 myself, so this is basically a pros asking pros. Dekel, just wanted to say, with your reach, how could you inspire a player like me with, not as much a reach as you? What kind of tips could you give for a less reaching player like myself? And what other secrets can you give me, baby? Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Dekel. Good to see ya. Peace.
Oh my God. You caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, am I supposed to know the Gecko? What am I missing here? Great question, Gecko. Well, I guess you want to, even if you don't have big reach, you want to stay close to the kitchen. Make sure you use all the reach you have. You would obviously people with less reach have, they're quicker. Like Frank, he's not a very tall person, but he's got his own secret weapons. Super fast, very fast hands. So each person should just use their abilities and what they have in their arsenal. So that's it.
Nice. Thanks for that great question, Gecko. And I actually have a follow-up question for you. Do you know which pro player did the voice of the Gecko? Were you paying enough attention to be able to tell whose voice that was?
I think I was just too busy laughing. No. No,
Eddie,
I don't know who that was.
Can you play maybe just the first 5 or 10 seconds of that?
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, Eddie and Webby, it's me, the Gecko. Just wanted to shout out to one of my favorite players, Dekel Bar. I'm a 5-0 myself, so this is basically a pros asking pros. Peace.
Oh, this is tough.
All right, I'll give you a little clue. I'll give you a clue. That clip was sent to us by Michelle Esquivel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay. Rob Cassidy. Yes. Now I can hear it.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yep.
ding, 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 ding.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Awesome.
All right,
Yeah,
so
Rob is awesome.
we've actually reached the final question of the pros asking pros section, and this one comes so if you listen carefully, you'll hear a cameo voice appearance in the background of this one, but this one comes from Belinda Zabinden.
Hey guys, Belinda Zabinden here. Dekel is one of my very good friends. So, given that he is one of the most eligible bachelors in pickleball,
inquiring minds would like to know.
But Cimarron Gonzalez helping me out.
Hi.
We both would like to know, Dekel, what is your ideal first date? All of us are really waiting to find out. Okay, bye.
Oh my God. Belinda. Thank you, Belinda. First date. I think just having some drinks on the beach would be ideal. Just a nice, relaxing location where you can talk, and yeah, I think it's a good, nice place to meet.
All right. Drinks on the beach.
I hope you're satisfied, Belinda.
Let us know, Belinda, if you thought that answer was appropriate or not. That was great, though. But one thing that we've never done on Pros Asking Pros Questions is ever have anybody that's actually in the room with the pro. Did one of the pros make their way over to your area there, Dekel?
They have.
I think it would be a great time for them to ask you a question as well if they're around.
Yes. All right.
Can I jump in here, guys? Is this my spot?
Adam, I didn't recognize you without the hood on, standing behind him there.
That's right. It's either the hood or the safari hat or the paddle tech hat, one of the three. So happy to be here, guys. Just listen to a few of those answers and a few of those questions, which were all wonderful from the fellow pros. I appreciate those questions. And
Adam was just having, is laughing hysterically over here in the back.
This is pure entertainment. I am so fired up to listen to Dekel's responses, especially to the last one about the first date. He was slightly uncomfortable, which makes me super happy.
I love it.
So Dekel's my boy. He's my buddy. He's my partner, and I'm super excited about hopefully playing many tournaments with him this year. I guess if I had a question,
I'm very scared of this.
Yes, no. I don't think it's going to be bad at all. I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it, but listening to the previous questions, I was just thinking maybe if you could not partner with me next year or Ben Johns, who might you pick? I would just be intrigued to who my competition is and who I might need to, Tanya Harding to make sure that we can stay together as partners.
Okay.
I was just hoping to hear who that might be.
All right. Good question. Well, I was supposed to play with Eric Lang in this coming U.S. Open that got canceled.
Damn tall people. Gosh.
Yes. So I just think it would be very interesting for us to team up and see how we do. Because Eric is very, very tall, very big guy. I'm not small myself. So I think it can be a very interesting, duo. It'll be hard to drop the ball to us and get it on the ground, and we'll just cover the court very well. We both do pretty well when we're getting attacked. So, I would want to see how that one goes.
Eric Lang. I'm worried about you, buddy. I'm worried. So, like I said, Dekel's a great partner. He's very positive on court. I think we feed off each other well. And I think Eric Lang is also a very great player. And I am just super jealous that I am nowhere near as tall as any of these people. I'm confident in my own game, but to have a little length and a little reach would be fantastic. But I have this crazy feeling that I'm never going to understand how that feels. So
you never know.
You never know. Maybe I have a late growth spurt in me at some point. But I just want to emphasize how good of a guy Dekel is, how strong of a competitor he is, and how much fun I have when we hit a tournament together. And I hope things clear up soon so that we can showcase our talents and hopefully have some good success in some of the tournaments for the rest of the year.
Nice, man.
Very well said.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We've also been staying in the same house for the past week. Just wanted to let everyone know that as well. So just throwing that in there. But like I said, been listening to the last 10, 15 minutes or so, and I thought a lot of the pro questions were phenomenal, and I was very much entertained by Dekel's answers, and very, very, very entertained. So it's good stuff.
That's great. Well, we appreciate it. That was our first ever in the same room pros asking pros questions. So I love it.
That's right. That's right.
When are we going to get you on the podcast, Adam?
Well, hey, we had a little glimpse of the podcast. I believe 2019 Simone's tournament in Bonita Springs.
That's right.
And I was also on there with Cassandra Gerke. And
That's
so
right.
that was a lot of fun. And it was a little blip, only 5 or 10 minutes or so. But I think that a longer podcast makes a lot of sense in the future. I'd love to get on with you guys. You're a lot of fun.
I agree, man. We'll definitely have to get you on and go deeper into this, and then we'll let Dekel heckle you a little bit.
Yeah. The Dekel heckle. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, nice.
Like
The Dekel heckle. Love it.
The Dekel heckle.
Adam has a lot to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say, especially with a little bit of a beer buzz. Not gonna lie.
Hey,
not
cheers.
gonna lie, guys. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
And Adam Scott Yager says Adam Stone can partner with the Gecko next year if Dekel isn't available.
Oh, absolutely. I love the Gecko. The Gecko's my guy. He does great commercials with Geico. He's got a nice lefty forehand. He's from Rochester, New York. There's a lot to like about the Gecko. So I love that guy. I love that guy, and I love to see him at the stops on tour, at the tournaments, and big fan of the Gecko, not going to lie.
We all love that Gecko.
How great would it be if Rob's nickname becomes the Gecko because of this podcast?
That would be awesome.
I don't see any reason why it will not become his nickname.
We
I
got to
think
make
it's
that
great.
stick.
That's right. Stick it. That's right. It's wonderful.
Good stuff. Love it, man. Well, that was pros asking pros questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed it because, man, we had a lot of people submit questions, which was really cool to be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
That was fun.
Thanks for having me, guys. Glad to jump on for a little bit. And once again, this guy's the man. He's great. I love him on and off the court, and can't wait to play some tournaments here in the hopefully near future. Love you guys, Eddie and Webby, and we'll see y'all sometime in the near future, hopefully. All right?
That's right, man.
See you guys.
Thank you, Adam. We'll see you, man.
Thank you, Stone.
Well, that was good. That was
he's just awesome.
Yeah.
So fun.
That must be a lot of fun touring around with him, huh?
It is. It is indeed. We stay together a lot, but a lot of the times, spend basically the full day on the courts and in the venue. He's got some hilarious stuff to say, and on the court, he's just super positive, and a blast to play with.
That's great. Great guy, great for the sport. And seems like you guys are going to be, I think you guys are going to do pretty well this year. I'm excited to see once these tournaments get back up and running, man. Love to see what you guys are going to do. Well, cool, man. Well, Dekel, I got to tell you, this has been an absolute blast. One thing that we always like to do when we have a guest come on the show, though, is give them an opportunity to be able to share with the world anything that they want, how they can follow you on social media. This is your opportunity to be able to plug away anything that you want.
Okay. First of all, you can follow me on Facebook. Follow my page, Dekel Bar. Plain and simple. Add me as a friend. And then you can follow me on Instagram. It's Dekel Bar 2 on Instagram. And I would just like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Prince Pickleball. thanks for helping me with, it's a little bit difficult to travel from Israel, so they're helping me with travel and stuff, and they've been amazing, and giving me with the best paddle for me. It's such a, it made a huge difference for me playing with that paddle. I also like to thank Jigsaw Health for for their products and for helping me stay hydrated on court. And I hope all of you guys check out Pickleball Getaways. Check us on pickleballgetaways.com, or ask us any question in the email, or personally. Feel free to ask us anything at any time. I think that's it. And if anyone's ever at a tournament, feel free to come and say hi, ask any question. Hopefully we can play some or just chat.
If you guys run into Dekel at a tournament, he might come across as larger than life. You might be intimidated, but I assure you, he's a nice guy. Right?
I was sometimes. Depends on the day.
Talk about putting you on the spot there. So, once again, Dekel, this has been a blast, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. I hope to see you again very soon at some of these tournaments once this whole coronavirus thing is gone and people are safe and healthy and we get this world back to normal. I really look forward to seeing you out there, whether it's in person or on the live streams.
Yeah, me too. And obviously, thank you, Eddie and Webby, for having me on the show. It's been a blast. I always, have a great time watching your show. So it's fun to be in the show. It was very fun and exciting. Thanks to all the the great pros who asked these phenomenal questions. So thanks again for having me.
Awesome, man. Take care. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. All right, man.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks, Dekel.
Talk soon.
See ya, Dekel. Oh, man. Such an awesome night. I mean, talk about a super nice guy, great ambassador for the sport of pickleball. I mean, I feel like you really can't ask for a much nicer person in this sport, especially on the pro level.
I agree, man. I mean, first of all, he's a freaking beast on the court. But as you mentioned it, just an all-around good guy. He's great for the sport. And going back to Belinda's Minden's question, I think we need to come up with a new TV series. Are you ready for this? Imagine you're a big TV exec, right? You're sitting there in your suit, you're smoking a cigar, and you're like, "All right, pitch me. Let's role play this real quick."
All right.
So,
am I supposed to supposed to do something here?
You're the TV exec. Let's do this. Here we go.
All right. Hey, so Eddie, we need a new TV show. What do you got for me? Pitch me your best.
You sounded like a 50s news reporter or something like that. Anyway, all right. So here's the pitch. You ready? So we got Dekel Bar, the most eligible bachelor in pickleball right now, and then we have all of the bachelorettes who are trying to win him over, and at the end they can get married, and there's a fantasy suite, and they have roses and all this stuff. What do you say?
I love it. I can see millions of viewers right now. Top ratings in all of television.
What should we call it?
Do you have a creative name? Because I'm not sure.
The Pickleball Bachelor. I think we should call it that.
Heyo, there we go. I knew it was going to be something like that. I just couldn't think of it off the top of my head.
I know, and I was trying to think of a witty way to be able to say that we were ripping off The Bachelor, but nothing came to mind. So that was my attempt at joke. We need some lessons from Matt Loria to increase our humorousness. I don't even think that's the right word.
Yeah. The humoricity factor. The humoricity factor.
I feel like we've already transitioned into dinking around Eddie and Webby, but we're not there yet, folks, because we still got to wrap up podcast number 63, right?
That is correct. And man, it's such an awesome night. This was a very fun episode. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely a lot of fun. Dekel's a great guy. It was awesome to have Adam Stone in there. Thank you to all the pros that asked questions. I mean, that was incredible how many questions we had in the Pros Asking Pros question segment.
I couldn't believe it. Literally an hour before the show started, we were still getting questions. People were sending us videos, and we were like, "Oh, this is golden. We've got to put this in here." So we made it work.
That's right. And hopefully they're going to continue to submit them, and we didn't use them all on Dekel tonight.
Right. No, I love that though, man. That segment has been so much fun, and I love the fact that that other pros are excited to send questions for their peers. I mean, it adds such a new element. And like I said before, I feel like we're going to be out of the job soon because they do such a great job at asking great questions. Like soon we're not going to be needed on this show.
I agree, man. We're just going to basically set it up and let them do all the talking, and Eddie and Webby are a thing of the past.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'd be totally fine being a part of that. Just if I was part of just getting those great questions out there from the pros, I'd be happy.
Totally agree. Well, guys, that was episode 63. And was there anything else we wanted to talk about here tonight, Webby?
Oh, man, I don't think so, except for the fact that we're coming right back after we fade to black with a new episode of Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby.
That's right. And stick around because it's going to go black. We're going to bring it right back up, and we're going to be going over baby pictures. It's going to get wild. It's going to get wild.
Wild and crazy.
That's right. Well, guys, this has been episode 63, which means there are 63 of you out there still watching. And guess what, Webby?
What?
We love them to bits.
We
Guess
do.
what else?
We love them bits. And I don't know what else. What else is there?
We want to kiss them on the lips.
We do.
That's right. Thank you guys again for watching. Stick around for Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby coming. Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby coming on right after this. Don't go anywhere. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.